As American citizens, we strive on fairness within our legal system, which is based off of the Double Jeopardy Clause within the Fifth Amendment. Is double jeopardy really as fair as Americans think? First off, we must ask, what is double jeopardy? Double jeopardy is the act of putting a person through a second trial for an offense for which he or she has already been prosecuted or convicted. Although the court claims that double jeopardy protects against the government from employing its superior resources to wear down and erroneously convict innocent persons, does it seem fair to you that criminals are able to parade the streets without any repercussions of their crime because they were tried and found innocent, even if other evidence is brought up for consideration, which could possibly be enough to prove the individual is guilty? Mike Rand, a commissioner of the United Kingdom, states that it makes no sense to me that if someone gets off a particular case, then fresh evidence becomes available, DNA or otherwise, that they could literally get away with murder. Prime Minister John Howard states people argued about the medieval right not to be tried twice as enough fraudulently getting off some sort of gain. Although the court claims that the Double Jeopardy Clause helps preserve the finality and integrity of criminal proceedings, which would be compromised with the government allowed to arbitrarily ignore unsatisfactory outcomes, does it seem fair that victims may never get justice just because a criminal cannot be tried again for the same crime? Does it seem fair that criminals can walk away unharmed and proud of their crimes even with DNA evidence proving their guilt?
Sharon Sylvester Brown, 61-year-old Texan resident, was allowed to stroll the streets after murdering his girlfriend due to the Double Jeopardy Clause. Sharon Sylvester Brown pleaded guilty to misdemeanor assault after beating his girlfriend, Sherry Whitaker. Prosecutors were unaware that Whitaker died due to results of Brown's assault. Because Brown had already pleaded guilty and charged with misdemeanor assault, he could not be tried again. The court claims that Double Jeopardy Clause protects individuals from the financial, emotional, and social consequences of successive prosecutions, but does it seem fair to you that Sherry Whitaker is now dead because of Brown's actions? Does it seem lawful that Brown now walks free? Where is Sherry Whitaker's justice? Casey Anthony, a notorious young mother who was tried for killing her 2-year-old daughter, Kaylee Anthony, was found not guilty in 2011. Much of U.S. citizens were enraged by the outcome of Casey's trial. In light of the acquittal, the cops still had evidence of Casey giving false statements about her whereabouts around the time of Kaylee's disappearance. Law enforcement was unable to press all 4 counts of false statement against her. Because of the Double Jeopardy Clause, Casey can be only charged with half of the crimes she originally committed because the crimes were discussed and charged as misdemeanors during her first trial. Does it seem just that Casey Anthony is not paying for her crimes? If your daughter went missing for days and you found out she had been brutally killed, wouldn't you want to seek justice? Wouldn't it make you sick to think the criminal gets to live a normal life while you mourn the loss of your daughter? This is exactly what Double Jeopardy has allowed to happen.
As a community, we feel comfort in knowing that our children are safe, that our houses are safe, and that our lives are safe because of courts and law enforcement. Although some may say that double jeopardy allows justice for the individual who is tried for the crime by not being able to recharge the criminal if new evidence is found, the victim of the situation is not getting proper justice. Does this seem fair? Martin Luther King Jr., one of the most well-known civil rights activists in the history of the United States, quoted, "We are not satisfied and will not be satisfied until justice rolls down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream." Do you think that Martin Luther King Jr.'s idea of justice was to let criminals, possibly murderers and rapists, live in this great country without any the lack of sufficient evidence that was present at the time? A recent survey posted by debate.org shows that 49% of the people would like to do away with double jeopardy for reasons such as not being able to use new evidence, which is unfair to both the victim and the public. Double jeopardy is ultimately not fair. It's not fair to the public and to the victims. If we could help get criminals off the streets by lifting the double jeopardy clause, what is stopping us?